Good morning, students. Today we will read the eighth poem of your book Beehive. The name of the poem is On Killing a Tree, and it is written by Jeev Patel. Jeev Patel is an Indian poet who was born in 1940. He is a playwright, painter, and a practicing physician in Mumbai. He is a passionate crusader for protection of our greenery and vegetation on this earth. So, dear students, before starting the poem, let us read the small introduction of the poem. The poet sensitizes the reader and highlights the fact that trees are living things. He equates trees with humans to convey that trees should not be cut because destroying trees is just like killing a human being. A tree does not die by merely cutting because it regrows from where it is cut. If it has to be destroyed, then it has to be uprooted. So, dear students, it is a passionate appeal of the poet not to cut the trees. He raises awareness among the readers regarding trees. So, let us read the poem. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab. Jab means the meaning is given sudden rough blow of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly consuming. Consuming means using up the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust. Crust means outer portion of the tree. Absorbing. Absorbing means taking in years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide. Leprous hide means discolored bark. Sprouting leaves. Sprouting means producing leaves. Here in this stanza, the poet says that a simple jab does not destroy a tree. It cannot kill a tree. A tree grows gradually. It is rooted in the soil. The poet says that the tree slowly consumes earth. It uses earth's resources. It feeds upon its crust. And it takes nutrition from the soil to grow into a big tree. The tree is firmly bound with the soil. Then the poet says that it rises by consuming, by absorbing sunlight, water, and air for years to grow into a big tree. Then he says that it produces leaves from its leprous hide. It means that its leaves grow from its leprous hide. Here, students, leprous hide means the uneven color of the trunk of the tree. It is compared to a person who is suffering from leprosy. Leprosy is an infectious disease. It affects the skin of the people. So here the poet has used indirect comparison. Now I am telling you about the rhyming scheme of the poem. You can see that there is no rhyming scheme. The poem is written in free verse. No word is rhyming with each other. So there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. After that, you can see, students, jab of the knife. After knife, there is no any pause or punctuation mark. The line is continue. Jab of the knife will do it. So this type of device is called enjambment. So enjambment literary device is used in many lines, such as after grown, you can see there is no punctuation mark or any pause. The line is continue. It has grown slowly. After feeding, after absorbing, after hide, there is no punctuation mark. These all lines are continue. So in these lines there is enjambment. And the next literary device which is used here, I have already told you. Here you can see leprous hide. Here the poet has compared the discolored bark of the tree, the uneven color of the trunk of the tree, to the person who is suffering from leprosy. Skin of the person who is suffering from leprosy. So here is indirect comparison. So metaphor literary device is used here. Now let us see the next stanza. So hack and chop. Hack means cut roughly by striking heavy blows. And chop means cut into pieces. But this alone won't do it. Won't do it means it will not kill the tree. When we will cut roughly, or when we will cut the tree into pieces, then it will not kill the tree. Not so much pain will do it, and bleeding bark will heal. And from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Twigs means branches. Miniature boughs. Miniature means very small. Boughs means branches, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So here the poet says that much efforts are needed to cut a tree. Only if we will chop the tree, if we will cut the tree, it will not kill the tree. So the human beings cut and chop the bark of the tree into many pieces, but that is not sufficient to destroy the tree. The point of the tree which gets cut, where we cut the tree, gives out sap. Bleeding bark here means a liquid comes out of the place where we cut the tree, out of that point, and that is called sap. So the poet says that the point of the tree which get cuts gives out sap, just like human being bleeding. Here again the poet has used the indirect comparison. The sap that comes out of the tree is compared to the bleeding of the human beings. So metaphor literary device is used here. After that, poet says that it feels pain, but it goes on bearing it because of its strength. And after that, poet says that when the bleeding bark heals in the course of time, with the passage of time, then what happens? The green twigs, the miniature boughs, they rise again and expand to their former size if their growth is not checked. So the poet says that if you want to kill the tree, it is needed to be uprooted, because only chopping and cutting, it will not kill a tree, because tree is bound in the soil with the help of the root. Now students, see, you can see that there is no rhyming scheme, and the literary when we talk about the literary device, you can see here bleeding bee, bark bee. Here it is B consonant sound is repeated, so here it is alliteration. Alliteration literary device is used here. Again, here bleeding bark, I have explained you that indirect comparison is shown here. The sap coming out of the tree where it is cut is compared to the bleeding from the wound of the human beings. So there is indirect comparison. Here it is metaphor. When we talk about the next literary device, you know very well, there is enjambment. You can see that after chop, after ground, after heal, after bows, after again, there is no punctuation mark. These lines are continuous, so there is enjambment. Now let us see the next stanza. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. Here anchoring earth means trees are held securely with the help of roots in the earth. The trees are held securely with the help of the roots in the earth. So it is to be roped, tied and pulled out. Snapped out means chopped out, or pulled out entirely. Entirely means completely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. So here the poet says that no means that cutting or chopping of small branches will also not enough to kill a tree. It will not kill a tree. The poet says that in order to kill the tree, it has to be uprooted. Roots must be pulled out of the soil. One has to separate the tree from the earth, which support it, anchoring earth, which support it. and the roots of the tree bind the tree with the soil in the cave of the earth. Further, the poet says that trees to be tied by ropes and pulled out. The strength of the tree is needed to be exposed. Further, the poet says that when we pulled out the tree, then from there the most sensitive and hidden part of the tree, what is it? That is the roots. The roots have to be detached. We have to pull out the roots to kill the tree. The roots are white in color and are wet. They are very sensitive. They are hidden for many years inside the earth. So the poet says that if you want to kill the tree, you have to pull out the roots. Properly, you have to separate the tree from the earth. Here again, students, you can see that there is no rhyme scheme, and when we talk about the literary devices, you can see that here white, wet, W sound is repeated, W consonant sound is repeated, so it is alliteration. And when we talk about, you know very well, there's enjambment also. You can see after snapped out, after exposed, you can see that there is no any punctuation mark, and line is continuous, so there is enjambment. And one more literary device is used here. You can see that pulled out, pulled out, pulled out. This word is repeated again and again, and when a word is repeated to lay emphasis on it, then it is called repetition. So repetition literary device is also used here in this stanza. Now let us see the next stanza. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So the poet says that once the tree has been uprooted, it has been pulled out from the soil, then gradually it withers and dries up with the action of the heat of the sun and the wind. When the tree was alive, you know very well that the tree uses sun and air to prepare its food, but now as it has been killed, the tree has been killed, so what happened? It withers and dries up with the action of the heat and the wind. The trunk will become brown, twist, and will harden, and finally the tree will die. In this way, tree will be killed. So here, students, you can see that no rhyme scheme, and when we talk about the literary devices, then enjambment is there. You can see after matter there is no literary no and punctuation mark, after choking also. So enjambment literary devices here. So dear students, you have seen yourself that how the poet has beautifully shown that how a tree is wounded by cutting and stabbing. It comes back into life by healing itself. It starts growing again. It never gives up. So the poet asks if human beings can ever have that kind of attitude towards life, they should also not give up. They should also start from where they have been stopped. So human beings must live just like trees. So this was a beautiful poem. These are the literary devices. You can read them again. Read the poem also again. Thank you.